and thank you for joining us on another promising episode of Work 360. My name is Tosin Ann, and today we are going to be dealing with something very, very crucial at the workplace. What are we talking about today? We are talking about work ethics. And to deal with that today, I have with me Mr. Adiola Adeyoju. He is my guest. He is an administrator and a workplace consultant. You're welcome, Mr. Adiola.
It's a pleasure, madam. Thank you very much.
So today, Mr. Adiola, we're going to be tackling the issue of ethics at the workplace. I think that is something that is really, really, really important to the workplace, right?
Actually, yeah, you see the word ethic in our workplace. Ethic itself is an output that is expected of an individual or an organization that will make an environment to be habitable. That is, the rational output that is expected of an individual or an organization. It is something that is inborn, something that's supposed to come out of you to increase whatever production you are giving to the populace or whatever a company is producing for the public. But the problem people used to misconcept the word work ethic is that it is being associated to the governmental department. It's not supposed to be like that. Both public and private, as an individual, a group.
Okay, I was going there, Mr. Diola. Now, you know, when we say work ethics, people will just look like, oh, it's an office thing. Does this have to do with the unskilled workers?
Yeah. It is not pertaining to ethic, to office thing alone. Even at your home, there must be an ethic. Because if you look at the composition of the word ethic, you talk of appearance, you talk of the character, you talk of your manner and what have you. So you are not expected to expose this in the office alone, even at home. Within the same organization, outside the establishment, it is expected of you to put an ethic to whatever you are doing in order to be an expected human being that we are expecting in the society.
Okay, today I think we'll take a little to the toll of the unskilled workers.
Okay.
Can you give us an instance? For example, talking about the mechanic, when you talked about appearance. How can a mechanic look clean, look neat?
Before we go into the scale, let me briefly say something about the historical background of the word ethic.
Okay.
You know, after the Trans-Sahara trade and the transatlantic slave trade route, there was a kind of harmonization between the European and African and probably, let me say, Nigerian government, and the issue of 3C was introduced.
Yes.
That is Christianity, commerce, and the third one I forgot. And in this aspect, a kind of production was about taking place, and the railway construction came into being. And people were just treated like tools in the place of work. They were not recognized. They can hire and fire them at any time. A set of people now group themselves together in order to make a kind of union that at least we need a recognition in our place of work so that we have a kind of security. So that this security will now enhance our production, what we are giving to the populace. This one now extends to the present moment. Now if I now go back to what you have just said, you see the same set of people, the mechanic, the bricklayer, they need ethic in their way of work. We talk of ethic as a kind of output of an individual. If you see a mechanic that's dressed savvy, if you don't know him before, you think he's a madman. So the kind of dress you put on, the way you approach people will determine your mentality and your levels of production at the end of the day. If you look at this bricklayer, if you call them, you see a lot of cement, they will waste a lot of things. Even the way some of them talk to you as, you know, it is not their fault. Most of the graduate doesn't refuse to go to most of this kind of production. That is why. So in a nutshell, ethic is expected of these people in their mode of dressing, in their appearance, in the way they relate to their customer. You understand? Because three things is expected in a personal production: your appearance, your price, and your output. So first thing in the ethic, if your appearance as a laborer does not appeal to me, I will not even call you to come and do certain job. If your appearance is okay and your price doesn't go with my pocket, I will. So all these things need to be put into consideration in this production in order to get rationality in whatever we are doing.
Can you just, in few words, tell us in a layman's language, as simple as it can be, what is ethics? Because I know a lot of people will be watching this, and it's grammar for them to go and take their dictionaries and try to find out the meaning. But for a plumber on the way who watches this and ethics, what are they talking about in a layman's language?
In a layman's language, an ethic is the character and the composition. If the word composition is too much, what is expected of you to explain yourself about your job. Before you talk, people will see you and they know this is what you are into, and I will feel convenient to patronize you. That is the character that is expected of you to display, and there are a lot of them.
Okay, now can we say that there are good ethics and bad ethics, or it's just ethics?
No. There is. Even from what I've said,
okay,
a good ethic will make your client or your customer to patronize you more. Maybe the way you appeal to them, they can just, like a mechanic came out online just of recent. The man charged a madam for about 80,000.
Yes.
At the end of the day, maybe he did the job for 20,000, which if he didn't return it, after all, he has already fixed the car and something is working. That's a good job ethic, if you look at it. Then the bad one is just an opposite of that. You take your vehicle to the mechanic and they will tell you, oh, madam, Oga, this thing is no problem. Oh, the thing will spoil now, this and this, you go collect money. That's a bad ethic of the job, And if at the end of the day you discover, there's no way you will not discover before you patronize that kind of a person between 2-3 times, you know the kind of person he is, and then you withdraw from that kind of person. But with good ethic, you gain more customer, because if I'm satisfied with your job, I can easily tell somebody else to come down to that place. So good ethic, bad ethic, everything goes line in. It all depends on the one you want to draw to yourself.
Okay, let's take it now to the formal sector. Let's take it to the formal sector. Do you think one of the attributes or characteristics of good ethics is teamwork? How does it affect the people in the formal sector?
Actually, you see, when you talk of teamwork, it depends on the organization, Some organization will believe an individual should work and weigh it according to the pay piece rates. It's not on salary, you understand. But generally, if you look at the principle of production and all these theories, you discover that group work enhance productivities in an organization, and it's a good ethic because people will have a sense of belonging. Since they are doing it together, you have given them the target and you allow them to supervise themselves. Teamwork will increase productivity. And I want you to believe that teamwork is a two-way drive. If in an organization people are producing, you should give them that confidence and what we expect, what will make them to produce more. Probably, maybe in the civil service, there is something they call performance appraiser, and in the public enterprise, because you asked of the former organization, that is why I'm saying it. In the private sector, there is a way to appraise individual, probably by your immediate boss. We say something about your production, and that one will enhance you promotion. But in the public sector, there's something they call upper form. The upper form is just to appraise them, what they have done. Do they need a recommendation? Do they need promotion? All these things will make you to produce more. And there is no way in that kind of an organization where you are being given what is expected of you and you have a job security, the ethic will be perfect, because the way you appear to those people that need your service, they will know. Just of recent, I went to a particular ministry. It just looked like a private establishment. On getting there, I approached them. This is what I did. Okay, sit down. Do you care for a cup of tea? I was forced to say, in a public establishment, telling me if I need a cup of tea. For the fact that they cannot even produce it, I discovered that this is a good work ethic. You understand? So a teamwork can give an adequate work ethic if there is a room for improvement. Exactly.
All right. So far, we are talking about teamwork in ethics, in workplace ethics. Now, I want to look at it this way, this other way. Is it possible that the ethics one has imbibed can get you fired or hired easily?
Indeed. Now, let us specific to private establishments.
Okay.
Now, in this private establishment, like multinational company or don't let me be specific, let me just say multinational company. If you put an ethic that is contrary to the norms of the establishment, the best thing is for you to have a positive output of it. If it were to be the other way around, the next thing is who asked you to do this? You understand?
Yes.
And in public sector, you are allowed to use your own instinct in the levels of production, because we have the routine administration in the public sector, which anybody will not even tell you before you use your number. Exactly. And we have some macro policy that need government intervention, like going to house, and you understand, it follow a bureaucratic process. Where we have the minor policy that just need executive intervention, we just give directive for it, so you understand. All those minor ones, you can use your discretion in an office to do it. Even if it backfire the other way around, unlike the public sector, private sector, your immediate boss will say, why do you have to do it? Why can't you do it this way? You know, it will be mine. So when you use a personal innovation in an establishment, for private sector, it is more or less difficult than public sector. You know, that is the way I see it.
So now, what do you have for people who, because they haven't used their ethics well, what they have learned, they haven't used it well, they got fired somehow? What's your advice to them? How can they get back on their feet?
Honestly, the advice I would give to them is that every organization have a norms.
Sure.
It has a way of operation. Immediately you are being inducted to an establishment, the rules and regulations will be given to you.
How about where they are not given?
Yeah, that is where we have the problem. It's not every organization, like you rightly said, where they were not given. I think you will meet people in the system. Don't do chali or too no. You understand? Yeah. It do happen even in public sector. When you get to place of work, you are working and you follow the normal rules. You know, some people will tell you, you soon get tired. Just continue. Because you know public job the way it is. But people that are being fired as a result of their own ethic, probably putting additional to work and it's boomerang, and we appeal to them not to relent. You understand? When you do good things, it will pay you in a particular day. You should just don't do follow, don't do chali. Just believe in yourself in whatever you are doing. You understand? Put a rational ethic to your place of work, things will work better. I believe.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adiola Adeoju. He is a public administrator and a workplace consultant. You've heard it all. Ethics, very important at the workplace. You need to imbibe the good ethics and do away with the bad ones in order for you to sustain your job, in order for you to get better jobs, in order for you to relate more and better in the society, with your workers, with your colleagues, and everybody and everything that has to do with the workplace. You have just enjoyed an interesting episode of Work Ethics. Stay tuned for another promising episode of The Workplace. Stay tuned for another promising episode of Work 360. Till I come your way, same time, I remain Tosin Ann, and this is a production of the Workplacetv, powered by the Nigerian Workforce Strategy and Enlightenment Center. See ya.